Palestinian journalists received the top prize on World Press Freedom Day after more than 140 have been killed covering the war in Gaza.
The UK has promised to allocate £3 billion in annual military aid to Ukraine for as long as Kyiv needs it.
Never in recent history have so many journalists and media workers been killed as quickly as they have in the past year. More than 140 died in just a few months as they tried to report on the war in Gaza, according to the media office there. On Friday, World Press Freedom Day was marked with a warning from UN Chief Antonio Guterres, who warned that the media is under attack in every corner of the world. The Palestinian journalists covering the war were named the winners of this year's World Press Freedom Prize. The top award for those who've documented Israel's relentless bombardment of their homeland came at the recommendation of an international jury of media professionals. Other journalists are also under attack. A UNESCO report has found that 70% of journalists covering the environment were threatened or attacked for their work last year. The report also warned that online disinformation has surged dramatically.
Negotiations between Ukraine and the UK began in Kyiv on Friday, working towards a 100-year partnership to build long-lasting links between the two countries on issues such as trade, defence and tech. UK Foreign Secretary David Cameron said Britain would allocate £3 billion in annual military aid to Ukraine.
I think the package we announced was important, not just because it was the biggest package of gifted weapons that we've done so far. I think it was important because it was saying that this £3 billion, it's not just this year, it's next year, it's the year after, it's as many years as you need it.
Russia has made gains on the battlefield with Ukraine as Kyiv grapples with shortages of troops and ammunition as it waits for vital new military aid from the US.
Вы же получили свежие новые снаряды, которые Запад обещал?
Були, але вже закінчується. Відповідно, війна ж не стоїть на місці. Ми кожен день працюємо.
Meanwhile, Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu said on Friday that Russian troops had captured 547 square kilometers of territory in Ukraine just this year. Shoigu said Ukrainian forces were retreating all along the front line. Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni's radical right Brothers of Italy party is leading the voting intentions in Italy for June's upcoming EU elections. While, according to latest Euronews super poll, the second political force is the centre-left's Democratic Party, followed by the Five Stars movement. Brothers of Italy is steadily positioned at 26.7%, like in late March, but overall polling results show the centre and populist left has also been doing well. Support for the Partito Democratico and the Five Stars movement has grown slightly compared to polls in March. The League and Forza Italia are struggling slightly, holding just over 8% of voting intentions. Both parties are also part of the Italian conservative and nationalist bloc. The populist right League of Matteo Salvini is part of the Identity and Democracy group, while centre-right Forza Italia is part of the European People's Party group, led by Foreign Minister and former President of the EU Parliament Antonio Tajani. Giorgia Meloni will stand directly as a candidate in the EU elections for her party. She needs a high voter turnout to gain as many seats as possible in EU Parliament to be able to influence future coalition decisions. Meloni is part of the European Conservatives and Reformers group, and her goal is to create a great centre-right coalition between the European People's Party and the ECR group, in line with the wishes of outgoing EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen. But before she plays the great European game, Meloni has two challenges in her own country. The major one is her rival Matteo Salvini, a solid partner of Marine Le Pen at the European Parliament. The second challenge is the Italian left-wing surge. If the Democratic Party find common ground with their rivals, the Five Star Movement, the left and centre-left could create a solid partnership among a fractious Italian political spectrum.